special guest. He's already in the studio, but you will meet him when we're done with the political update. Don't forget, my name is still Ginika Olwahan. Stay with us. When we come back, you'll meet my guest.
This is Political Update. President Muhammadu Buhari has been commended for living up to his...
The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels.
He said that the portal would record the exit time and other details.
The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja. The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's the ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotel.
All right, thank you so much, Wisdom, for that update. Now, before we went on the break, I told you that I have my guest already in the studio. We'll soon meet him, but don't forget that this particular program, the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion, is live on Facebook. Just go over to www.facebook.com/ Flow 949 FM. You see what is happening here in the studio. Now, I have a former chief of staff to Abia State government, a former candidate of the APC for Aba North and Aba South Federal Constituency, and now the Action People's Party governorship candidate in Abia State, Honorable Mascot Uzor Kalu. Thank you so much for joining us, Honorable, on the program this morning.
Thank you, Abians, and thank you for having me.
Okay. You were in APC. Why the sudden move to APP? Nobody heard anything. You were so vocal in APC and just you left. You didn't say anything, but now you're an APP. What happened?
Well, the APC in Abia State, if you measure both in spending and in movement, I don't think you can count up to 4 or 5 people among the leadership of APC between 2015 and now who spent more and who's done more for APC. And unfortunately, each time my name is nominated for something, and some of the leadership, pushes against it. My brother is already chief whip, and this and that and that. And I have followers who are following me. The purpose of being in politics and pushing for political positions is to have political gains. And so those followers are also itching for political gains. So I said, okay, if my abilities are not appreciated and my strength are not appreciated, let me move on. And I wish them all well. I wish my brother well. And there's no quarrel between I and any member of APC. Whatever that was done to me in the past is all in the past for me. And I'm moving on to APP, Action People's Party, where I believe that I and my followers will find salvation.
Okay, would it be right to say that probably you didn't get enough support when you vied for Aba North and Aba South Federal Constituency from APC faithful at that time? Probably that's one of the reasons you left.
Well, that's part of the backlash that I talked about. But I don't want to go. I don't want to look at the past. The past is the past. I want to focus on the future.
Okay. So was your brother aware of this? Because he is a stalwart of the APC, and you people have been working so closely, so closely.
Yes.
Was he aware of this?
He's aware, and he did his own best in trying to make sure that I was properly compensated. But like I said, when compensation comes, it's a collective decision. Sometimes positions were waived to a different section rather than Mascot Uzor Kalu getting it. So, like I said, it's all in the past. I want to move on.
Okay, now let's talk about political injustice across the country today. When you look at the political development in few days ago, PDP, they just nominated somebody from the Northeast. Your former party, the APC, has somebody from the Southwest. The two major political parties appear not to be interested in the political affairs of the Southeast. What's your reaction to that?
Well, it's a big lesson for the Igbos. We spend more time backbiting and destroying one another than we build one another. Let the lesson of APC primary be clear to the Igbos, where Amosun, who everybody thought was enemies with Tinubu, the Ekiti governor, who everybody thought was enemies with Tinubu, protected Yoruba interests and stepped down to make sure Tinubu scales as presidential candidate. In Igbo land, you don't see such things, and it's unfortunate. And this is the reason why we keep moving backwards when it comes to politics. Politics should be above personal interest. It should be also sometimes about collective interest. So let it be a clear lesson. And unfortunately, if the APC wins the presidency, the Igbos will be like third fiddle. We will not get Senate president. We will not get speaker. We'll probably end up with deputy Senate president or deputy speaker, or both at the best. So it should be a big lesson for us. We spend more time trying to destroy one another than build. So let the this Amosun and the Ekiti governor stepping down for a collective Yoruba interest. Let it be a lesson for them, because we all knew they were not in good terms. But on that day, they stepped down to forge ahead Yoruba interests.
Okay, now to the real deal. You've declared your interest to contest for the governorship seat of Abia State, and you have been handed over the party ticket for APP. What necessitated this move?
Well, I looked around and I felt it's time. I come on board and run for the office of governor. Plus, I feel strongly it's also the time of the Abia North people to produce a governor. Everybody can sit down and make different claims, and it's okay. We are all allowed to do that. But I feel it's time for Abia North to produce a governor, and I felt I'm a good candidate to be governor of Abia State. When we look at possibly the governorship selections, I'll be one of the youngest in the race, but I'll be the most experienced in the race, having worked as the chief of staff under the tutelage of Governor Theodore Hamenifula Orji. I learned serious administrative work about the government. I came from the corporate part of America, where I was a stockbroker, I did businesses and all that. So I have a corporate experience. And here in Nigeria, I've been on the street doing business as well, doing real estate, construction and everything else. So I also have a street business experience. And if you look at combination of all of our people, none of them have the capacity and capability of all what I've acquired to be able to govern the state. And I'm confident that I can do that easily. There's no other better candidate to beat than me.
Many people were expecting probably that you would have gone back to Aba North and South Federal constituency to recontest for that position again, since you've declared you've given it a shot in the past. Now, the sudden change to governorship, that exalted position, is it all about service to the people or just to grab power at all costs?
No, power grabbing, the way you put it, would look as if it's a selfish interest. When you're running for, or you're being a governor of a state, the purpose is to deliver for the people. And I've made it clear, we are restoring payment of salary on the 25th or 26th of every month. Pensioners will be paid 26th and 26th of every month. We'll restore free education to primary school and secondary school for Abians. We'll restore month by month free healthcare system, and many other things that we'll discuss as we move along. So it is not really about me. It's about what the service that I feel the people need. I'm sure if you ask other people, are they more qualified than I am? That I'm running for Aba North, Aba South is because I felt the other region deserved the opportunity to also rule. And this time I said to you, it is time for Abia North. And so Abia North must present its best. And I believe I'm one of the best, not only in Abia North, but in the entire Abia State.
When you say you are the most qualified, yes, you said you're going to address the issue of salary, payment, and pension and the rest of them, bring back the health care system and the rest of them. How are you going to do this? Don't forget that the people that have been there before, they've told us the same thing, but at the end of the day, once they get into that office, doing it becomes a challenge. So how are you, in practical terms, going to address this issue so that even the ordinary people on the street will say, okay, he has what it takes, not just the normal rhetorics we normally hear?
Well, if I need to break it down for you, I'm sure it will take hours. But Abia people know that when I was chief of staff, every promises I came on air I made, I kept to it. When Aba people had issues with market and they came to government house, they reported to me. The governor was not available. I told them I would solve the problem. I solved the problem. When issues between government and the civil service here no more here, I solved the problem. So I know they have the confidence that I can do this. The issues of the government is basically issue of management. And those managements, without going too much into details, are things that I know, that I have experience. I know how to plug the holes and plug the leakages and revamp the system for these things to happen. When you have a system where every month you're getting allocation, on a monthly basis you're getting allocation, it's not like I'm going to tell you once I come in I'm going to look for money. No, the federal government already provides those things. And we also have internal generated revenue. So we will put things in place. One, to increase our internal generated revenue. We'll also try to plug and block the leakages, and thereby having enough resources to make sure salaries are paid. And genuinely find out the database of what our worker strength, our worker system actually looks like. So making sure people are logging in and logging out and knowing the exact number of workers that we have are part of the things that we do.
Now, having held, or rather being in government as a kitchen cabinet, somebody that holds the position of chief of staff should know everything. Tell Abians, what could be the reason why salaries are being owed, pensions are being owed, poor infrastructure here and there, and what are you going to do differently to address this? Since you've been there, you know what is the problem. And what are you going to do differently to address this?
When governors come into office and you've not really prepared yourself, sometimes it's easy to be pushed by friends and advisors that will push you into projects that are not achievable. The buck will stop on my table. I will be the one that will bring out the blueprint. I will not have other people bring the blueprint for me. I will bring the blueprint, knowing fully well of what my financial strength as in the state will be like, knowing fully well what we have, our resources will be. Let me digress a little bit. When the bridge in Aba started, I was one of the people that went on air. I said, this bridge is going to be difficult to achieve. Not because Governor of Okezie did not mean well, but because until he improves his internally generated revenue, it's going to be difficult to achieve. And I advise a big roundabout would have been better. I said it in 2019. And posterity has proved me right. I did not say it out of malice or out of hate for him. But I know what the system, I know what the revenues are. So I knew that it would not be as easy as that for the government to achieve those things at that point in time.
Okay, I remember when you were actually gunning for the position of the Federal House of Reps for Aba North and South under APC. One of the things you were campaigning with was the issue of dilapidated infrastructures, especially in Aba. In your own mind, do you think anything has improved? And what will you do to improve the situation where Aba is presently if you become the governor?
Aba is the biggest financial hub in Abia State. And so improving the infrastructural strength of Aba is key. We cannot emphasize enough about it. We need to change the way we do things. We need to bring in partners on PPP stands and also federal government. We need to do internal roads and decongest the movement of Aba. We need to rebuild Ariaria Market because both the entrance and the exit of there is not conducive. The strength and the pressure on the roads are not going to be sustainable in the long time. So the road system we need to redo. The road network we need to redo. We need to go back to what MCC had done. The drainage is a major part of the problem we have. I saw sometime, I think 2 years ago, where some of the drainages were being dug out, and I don't think it would have been the right way of approaching it. The MCC that did the drainage did a very good connectivity of drainage. Most of those drainages have been blocked. Most of them, we have over 1,000 plus houses that were already sitting on the drainages, which Governor Kezie had brought down some of those buildings. And when it brought them down, people had expected for a reconstruction of the roads. So majorly, The road networks are wider now, and Port Harcourt Road and all that road. And I will share and have a good relationship with federal government, regardless who the presidency will be, to make sure that federal roads are promised to us that are constructed. Port Harcourt Road should not be looking the way it is. It's a federal project. And there are ways to go. I will be a governor that will go to not just go and complain to the president, but I'll go to the ministry itself. I'll sit down with the Minister of Works and say, this thing is important to my people. We need to do this road. So you will need somebody who will go above board, just rather than just complain and talk about it. And I must tell you, knowing the history of like Ebonyi State, he did not achieve what he achieved by complaining. I've run into ministries where I see him sitting down with ministers and say to them, this road must be done, this must be done. I've run into him in parastatals where he came to get refunds that are due to Ebonyi State, 300 million, 400 million, and he converts those money to go and do roads. And so it's not everything that we must do by consultants, it's not everything that we must do by a third party. The governor will need to go above board, and is a governor that must understand the system and must not feel too big to work for the people.
Now, many people may want to disagree with you, Honorable, considering the fact that when you held that position as the Chief of Staff, there might be, some of them thought that you would have advised the government properly to start looking at the side of Aba and fixing it. Some of them claim that under the governor, under the administration you served, they didn't do much in Aba. Did you not advise the government? Or why didn't you, tell the government, look at this, and make sure that they do that? Now, you want to be the governor?
Well, anybody's telling you that does not have the proper history. When I came on board, my office had established, in collaboration with Ministry of Works, established a maintenance program mostly for Aba and Umuahia, where the goal was every month to allocate a number of roads, to patch the road and maintain the roads. My office had also advised state government, advised my boss then, about the issue of the drainage, because we found out that at the first 2 years of our administration, we were constructing roads in Aba, but the roads kept on failing, or rather, let me say, we were constructing and maintaining roads, but they kept on failing because the drains, the drains had failed.
Okay.
The drains were blocked, and the water was no longer moving, and water and asphalt does not mix. So I suggested then, while I was in office, let us leave the roads and go and evacuate the drains and open up the drainage. We invited one of the only construction engineer then that was left with MCC to come back, and he did a diagram, which I still have on my own. He did a diagram of what the Aba connectivity drainage looked like, and where the points where we need to open up. But we also found out that most of these points where people had also built on those drainages. And I made a suggestion to the governor then. I said, why don't we now say we want to reconstruct the drains?
Did he listen to you?
I'm coming.
Okay.
I made a suggestion. I said, why don't we now say we want to reconstruct the drains? We looked at the figure, what it's going to cost. He said it's enormous. I said, okay, let's go back. And rather than destroying the houses of those people, why don't we tax them? I said, this is the penalty for building your house on a drainage. So it's either we destroy your house or we have you tax. And I made a suggestion then, on bungalow houses about 500,000 naira, on duplexes about 1 point something million. And I think at that time, when we did the calculation, we got about 6 point something billion. And I said, this is the seed money for us to start on the construction of the drains. But unfortunately, the governor at that point did not want to go that route, and it was not done. Remember, I was not there for the entire administration, but while I was there, we did our best for our people.
So are you going to toe that line now, going by the fact that the same problems are still persisting in Aba?
Well, the good thing about, like I said, Governor Kezie, whether good or bad, Governor Kezie had a lot of those houses have been removed by him.
Okay.
So it will be a measure of finding out what is left, and a lot of those drainages also have been dug out. So we will have to now look at everything from a fresh hand and move it forward.
Okay, if you're just joining us, this is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion, and I've been speaking with the former Chief of Staff to Abia State Government, and now the APP governorship candidate in Abia State, Honorable Mascot Uzor Kalu, is talking to us about his programs if eventually he becomes the governor of Abia State. Now, Honorable, let's talk about the IGR. You mentioned IGR. Many people will believe that what the government normally tells them is that first, there's no money to pay salary, no money to pay pension, no money to do infrastructure, and the rest of them. What are you going to do to show up the revenue base of the state? And probably look at other areas, probably the mineral resources and the rest of them. What are you going to do in this regard to show up the revenue base of the state?
Well, Abia is a destination hub for all type of trades. It's a trade hub. Like I said earlier, we would have to reconstruct and revamp Ariara market, which is the biggest international market. But we will also have to improve on what we have. We will change style a little bit. When we improve on Ariara, we will also put an international market in the Ohafia Anuchuku axis to support the people coming from axis who have a parts dealers market to connect. And there's a road, there's a bridge between Umunocha and Enugu State, which makes movement in that place. At 07, my good friend, Honorable CEO Nwemada, had pushed to have a dry port in Isalangwa, between the axis of Isalangwa North and South, which I believe there was an approval, but the project never got moved on. So our focus will also be to move and have this port taken care of. And this needs to be the driver of this project. In Okwa area, we will go back and revisit the Obako City project, which our MCC many years ago in the 80s had put together. It would have been a city of housing estate that would have joined Okwa and River State seamlessly. It would also have had a power plant and also oil refinery in it as well. So these projects we'll look at, like I said, we'll rebuild area to make it a standard international market, not one where you go there, the water is filling almost half of your leg and all this. So we'll rebuild it and make it viable. These are some of the plans we'll do, because Abia is a trade hub, and you cannot be talking about increasing your revenue without increasing or improving business. As Abia is a trade hub, we must now develop Abia as a trade hub.
I understand that so many companies have left Aba for, I don't know the reasons, but if you become the governor, would you make any attempt to reach out to those companies, at least to come back? There are millions and millions of jobless youths in Abia. And when these industries and companies left, these people have nothing to fall back on. What are you going to do in that regard?
Well, going to talk is going to be, it's not going to be the first thing we do. We will have to lead by example. I've given you ideas of the things that we will do. We will have to show example before we go to.
And you believe that will make them to come back?
Oh, definitely. Like I told you, Abia and Aba is the biggest hub. As long as people know that security will be provided and roads will be provided and the market will improve and increase, definitely businesses will improve in this state.
Okay. If you're just joining us, it's still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. We'll take a breather now. When we come back, I still have some questions for my guest, talking about the former chief of staff to Abia State government and the now APP governorship candidate in Abia State, Honorable Mascot Uzor Kalu. Just hang in there. When we come back, the show continues. Stay with us.
Attention, please. You are cordially invited to a grand civic reception and chieftaincy installation by Ndieze and the good people of Isukweta local government area in honor of Professor Eliezer Uche Ikonne for his immense contributions to human capital development and educational advancement of their children as their lecturer, head of department, Deputy Vice Chancellor and Vice Chancellor of Abia State University, ABSU, Uturu. Date, Saturday, 11th June 2022. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Chief Ima Ibe Bulam's country home at Oho, Umobiala in Isukweta local government area. Announcer, Planning Committee.
I beg, bro, how much you buy this Airtel router?
Thank you.
Not the data plan, oh. I mean the router.
Yes, now. Router plus up to 240 gigabytes. Just thank you.
Get a router for 10,000 naira with up to 240 gigabytes data, or MiFi with up to 120 gigabytes for 5,000 naira in the Airtel all-time mega offer. Visit www.airtel.com.ng or any Airtel shop near you. Offer valid while stock lasts.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
The biggest bang of the season is about to go down. It's
Some people's party.
ABN TV Service Awards 2022 at Sheraton's Hotels, Abuja.
Organiru na people's oriented leadership Nyandabia State na Nigeria niile gbagburu godfatherism or dịgị na APP Action People's Party enweghị factions maọbụ ndọrọndọrọ ndọkasị ahụ ọ bụ ịhụnanya n'ofu obi ka APP ji aga akara eji mara APP ọ bụ enyi nke na-egosi nlụso ọrụ ike maka ọdịmma onye ukwu na onye nta bịa ka isonye na ndị ga-atọpụ obodo anyị na-agbụ gaa na wọdụ gị taa ka idebe aha gị na APP maọbụ bịa na Action People's Party Secretariat nke dị na number 206A Agụironsi Layout Ụmụahịa. Action People's Party APP Enyimba enyi ịdị n'otu Enyimba enyi mepe obodo Enyimba enyi ndị ọma Enyimba enyi ndị ọma Enyimba enyi.
The biggest bang of the season.
All right, welcome back to the program. It's still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion, and I've been speaking with the Action People's Party governorship candidate in Abia State, Honorable Mascot Uzor Kalu. My name is Ginika Olwoha. Welcome back, Honorable, to the program.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about the issue of security. In Abia North, where you are from, when you look at Umunochi, Isukwata axis, even in Bende, your own place, they are having issues of security. What is your plans to address the issue of insecurity over there?
We would restore back the local vigilante group.
The one that is already in place?
Well, I don't know what is already in place. I know
we already have the Abia State Vigilante Service.
Okay.
We also have a Homeland Security Service.
Okay.
So are you going to work with them, or you're bringing a new one?
Well, we'll look at what they have and see what the handicap is. But remember, these vigilantes cannot just work on their own because they are because of certain laws, and some of them are more of street smart people. They may not have a lot of education. So it will not just be the vigilantes and the local police. We'll have to form a joint task force. One, combining the local vigilante with police, army, and possibly sometimes we switch with navy to enhance the security atmosphere of Abia. Where we have what the local people will do is to connect with their locals and provide us with intelligence that we can use and move in. In the first 6 months of our administration, security will be paramount, because you cannot talk about building businesses, doing all these things and improving this and that without securing your state. Abia has to be secure before we can even talk about improving revenue or having the confidence of people coming back to Abia to come and do business. So in the first 6 months, security has been tackled head on to make sure that crime rate in Abia has been dropped to nearly zero. So that will be one of the first things my administration will focus on, is to restore the security confidence of the people in Abia. So we will use the local security apparatus organized by the state. We'll look at it, see what the handicap is, improve on it, do a joint task force. Every local government area must have eradicate crime in every local government. So we will tackle head on in the first 6 months and restore dignity and bring up confidence of the people to move around.
Now, when you look at a cattle market somewhere in Law Anta, it's where these people are operating. You know, there's that cattle market. I think, came on board in the first tenure of Uzor Kalu as the governor. Now, do you have any intention, because so many people believe that once you relocate them or push them out, the crime rate, especially the ones we have within Umunnochi, Sukwata axis, will reduce. Will you do that?
Well, let me say this. We've lived well with the Northerners in that area. The settlement there, we've been at peace. Even the Northerners in Ohafia, we've been at peace with them. To say all of a sudden the people who have lived amongst us, who some of them speak Igbo fluently, have now all of a sudden start hating us, to start fighting us. I don't believe it's them. But I believe that, yes, they may have information as to the people who are doing this. You have to know that security is on both sides. The person giving you information is also afraid of their life. So the question is, how do we go about it? And that's why I say that the first thing we need to do in the first 6 months of my administration, that we will focus on eradicating crime. And those areas will be also a focal point. Like I said before, we will have at least joint task force in every local government, between 3 to 5 different movements, pursuing on everyday basis for the next 6 months the crime and giving report. And I, as governor, will be the chairman of that task force. I will not delegate that duty to anybody. Because for us to talk about improving, building roads, doing this, we must secure Abia for Abia people so that they'll have confidence to do business.
Now, when you check the crime rate in Abia State and you look at the people that are involved, majority of them are young people. Obviously, they do not have jobs, nothing to engage them in. That's why probably most of them are engaging themselves in crime and criminality. Any programs for the youth?
Well, programs for the youth is improving business, because once you improve business, there's employment. If we talk about building new market in Ohafia axis, mega project, there's employment for the people there. If we talk about reconstruction of Ariara market, there's employment for the people
But
there.
what if they don't have the money, the capital to start
They don't need to have the money. When we bring this kind of businesses, we're bringing partners, we're bringing government, and we're coming together. The money will be available. Some of them will be bricklayers, some of them will be suppliers, some of them will have handwork that they will do, some of them will sell food. So we don't need to, at each time, plug money to go and give to the youth to do this. No, we can provide businesses for them to usefully engage themselves. As a contractor is there making money, he can decide tomorrow to own shops, he can decide tomorrow to own different things. We can no longer start and say, I am not going to be a government that will give you 20,000 naira, give this. No, we will have a loan system which people will qualify, but we're not going to have a gifting system. I would prefer to provide abilities for our people to make money.
So you open a kind of loan scheme where they go.
We will have a loan scheme. Government does not have to do everything itself, but government can partner with federal parastatals, partner with private foundations, partner with private businesses to provide this for our people.
So how are they going to access these loans? In practical terms.
These things will come. I said, for example, the federal government already has a loan scheme that is being done through NASRA.
So you have trader monies. Is that the same program?
Similar programs like that. But we will, because we know we have a huge amount of youth, government will help in making sure that our youths are reaching out and drawing these programs, and to make sure that our youths are drawing the projects, pushing projects for our people to be able to do something. Let me tell you something. If, for example, we have a program to do 5-kilometer road in every local government, 5-kilometer road in every local government. If you look at a kilometer of road and an average of 250 million naira per road, and you times it by 5, that's about 1.something billion in every local government. If you have such money going to the system, the youths of that local government will not be jobless. There will be an opportunity to do bricklaying. There will be opportunity to do supplies of stones, supplies of sand, supplies of cement, supplies of water. The youth of that local government will not be jobless. So what am I trying to say to you? Each time we talk about youth employment, people think we need to go and carry money and give to the youth. No. Work, provide opportunity, and the youth will not be jobless. There will be opportunity for them to work. So this government is going to do that. With the experience we have from from businesses. That's what we need to do. We don't need to, at all times, when we think about our youth, we think about giving them things. No, provide opportunity for them to make money. Let them have a dignity of labor.
Okay, at the start of this program, you made mention that it's the time for Abia North to produce the governor of Abia State. One will be wondering, you are from Bende, the same local government as the former governor, Dr. Uzor Kalu. Not just the same local government, the same family. Now, what is your chance or chances? What are your chances like? People looking at you again and said, okay, let us, since we have to go back to Abia now, let us give it to Honorable Mascot Uzor Kalu, and again from Bende, and again from the same family. Do you think it's realizable?
Well, that is a sentimental of that is part of what is drawing us back. We can't put sentiment in politics. When you put such sentiments, you lose political ground. If you go to the US, where I have my training from, George Bush Sr. finished being president. George Bush Jr. became governor of Texas. His brother was governor in Florida. George Bush Jr. is the one responsible for the economic revival that you see in Texas today. Texas used to be one of the old country states, but he said, no, we cannot be an oil state, and we don't invest in infrastructure. And he pulled a lot of money, pulled a lot of resources between companies, and put a lot of money into infrastructure. And all of a sudden, Houston, Texas took off. So, in New York, you have Governor Kwame, who ruled for 12 years, and within a space of 40 years, father and son ruled a state like New York for 20-something years. We can no longer be blinded by all of these things. If I, Mascot Uzor Kalu, can be the savior that brings us out of the mess we are in, people should stand and vote for me and say, no, because my brother has been this. And the Constitution gives me the right to do so. My brother is my brother. I cannot be blocked from providing the services I can provide because my brother has been governor. It would be wrong and unjust for me, for people to judge me that way. And let me tell you this. Those who bring this up are those who do not have things to offer. Because if you have something to offer, you not look at it that way. Go to Kano, Kaduna. Governor El Rufai is leaving. His own person, who was his SA when he was minister, and he made the guy became Senator Sani became a senator, and now he's a governorship candidate. His son is a House of Rep candidate in Kaduna State. The heavens have not fallen. Let me bring you back to the state. My former boss is a senator, and his son, to most people, they say he's the best speaker, and to some people, I don't know how they judge him, but it's not for me to judge, it's for the posterity to judge. But I'm giving you a realistic example. Let us move away from such politics. It doesn't pay us. It doesn't do anything for us. If I am the best to do the work, focus on Mascot Uzor Kalu. Let me do the job for the Abia people.
Okay, it's time for us to turn the microphone to you so you can actually make your own contributions on the program. I have been speaking with the APP governorship candidate in Abia State and the former chief of staff to Abia State government, Honorable Mascot Uzor Kalu, who is gunning for the position of the governor in Abia State come 2023. It's time for you to make your own contribution, ask questions when necessary. But I must warn, please, no attack, no personal attack. Just be civil in your contributions so we can have a better conversation. The numbers to call are 080-8182-6949 or 0811605-2949. You can also send your SMS on 090-651-08289. This is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, welcome.
It's calling from Omara.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Okay, fine. What I want to ask you this. Now, Abia State having issue of payment of salary and pension. I don't like to hear them. For the current expenditure, they're not doing well. I don't know how much is their balance they have in account. Number one question, what magic will you do to clear first 100 days in office, to clear all this issue of non-payment of that, so that there will be a standing payment? Secondly,
quickly, please,
every time now, second question, sing Abia State anthem as well as and sing an Igbo version. I think you want to be governor.
Okay.
So we don't know best, Abia State.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Let me take the
first one.
The first one.
Clearing backlog of salary.
Yes. This backlog of salaries has been there for months. So it will be not wise for you to expect that the first 2 months or first 3 months the governor will be able to just clear them. What we have to do is to give our commitment to the people, merge those salaries together, and start in the month and start paying current salary in full, and then gradually pay the backlog of salaries. And I'm believing within a year or maybe a year plus that those backlogs can be taken care of. Anybody that tells you, oh, in the first month or first 90 days we will clear up all the salaries, from what I hear, there is above 20-something billion. And so it is those records that will help me.
And you think that there's no money, that such amount is not there to clear the backlog?
No, you don't want to start the government with having put that type of either loan or something on the.
But it's a debt that the government is owing,
yes,
so you need to clear.
And it's a debt I said we will clear. Okay. But you telling me to go and take a loan at the beginning of administration, remember, it's not a debt owed by the incoming governor, but he has a duty to clear that debt.
Okay, let's take another call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, welcome.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Honorable Mascot.
Good morning.
I remember Mr. Hello, can you hear me?
Go
yes,
ahead.
Clearly.
Go ahead.
All right. I remember Mr. Prince Welosuagu from here in Chinobo local government area here in Imo State.
Okay.
Honorable, my congratulations to you on your victory as APP governorship aspirant in Abia State. Congrats, my brother.
Thank you.
And before I go on, let me ask you a little question, and don't be annoyed. I know that Uzor Kalu or Kano of a family has been a household in Abia State and Southeast in general. A time ago, you used APC to contest for Federal House of Reps in Abia North. Your brother, your senior brother, they use PPA, and he's one of the stakeholders of PPA as a party. Why is it that you didn't use either PPA or APC that has made your family, that has made you a household in Abia State?
Okay.
You left it and used APP.
Okay.
That is one.
Please, quickly,
Secondly,
so that other people can
as somebody
contribute.
that has known Abba for several years and who has worked in Abba for several times, how can you make Abba a hallmark or a city that should be known in the entire nation?
Okay.
By increasing the small and medium enterprises in Abia State to be one of the richest in the Western region, in African region. These are my questions. May God bless you, my brother.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prince. I think we'll need to take some calls so that probably we will later respond to them. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I'm not from Bende.
Okay.
Oh, my brother from Bende. And anyway, I like going there, MPP or for this governor, this state.
Okay.
I beg. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Ginika.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Honorable.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Actually, I want to ask Honorable, what is his plans and what are they doing to ensure that his party structure covers the entire local government across Abia State? Because I know for them to win, it requires them to cover the entire 17 local government. Then also, what is his plans to improve the economic activities and to ensure that there will be improvement in revenue generation to tackle all the challenges the present administration is facing?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Hello? Okay, Honorable, you can now address some of these questions.
Okay. The gentleman that talked about Abba, and the last man that also talked about economy and all that about Abba. I think we've been talking about this in the course of the program. Abba and Abia will be a trade hub, to be a trade hub that we are known for. And our focus will be to improve the road network in Aba to make sure that easy trading, easy movement of goods and services within Aba. I have also mentioned here that we would improve Ariara market to become a standard international market, not a place when you go in during rainy season, the rains are almost to your waist and the people there are finding it difficult to trade. The same thing, even the Koha market and the rest of them, we will improve on those markets to make sure that as a trade hub that they are, that they're well improved, well taken care of for people to come and do business. On the issue, somebody talked about PPA. The reason why I did not run under PPA is that PPA is no longer listed as one of the political parties recognized by INEC. So this was why I forged ahead to a new party, which is APP. APP as a party, we are moving and we are improving on every local government. I'm sure if anybody who came to see our primaries would have noticed the large number of people that attended the primaries. We have 17 local government chairmen. We have also 184 ward chairmen, and we are improving on them. Now, we're just about 2 months old. The election is about 9 months away. If for a primary that we were handpicked, we were able to bring in handpicked people that were just invited, small people that we were able to bring in over 1,000 plus on our office here in Agri-Resi layout. I think between now and the next 6 months, we'll be able to cover the grounds. But we are already working, and we continue to work to improve and make APP bigger and stronger.
Okay, let's go over to our Facebook page. This one is coming from Ezeka LVC, who has said, it is very unfortunate and very sad how politicians in Abia State and the rest of the country make lots of promises before elections. But after voting them in and they assume the seat of power, they now forget and neglect their obligation, thereby denying the poor masses their conjugal right. Because as it stands now, there's no good security network, no good infrastructural development, bad roads, no lights, no food, no jobs, and crime seem to be the order of the day. It's high time they talk less and do more, because we're tired of empty promises. Time to change the narrative come 2023. Okay, let's go over to our SMS line. Kelechi Oba from Iguana say, why do we keep deceiving ourselves? A party with little or no structure can never win election in Abia State. The issue of security in our country, the truth is always bitter, and the nation's armed forces should bury their heads. Okay, and it portrays high rate of sabotage in the forces. Okay, let's see if we can take some few more calls before we leave the studio. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr.
Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, My Excellency.
Good morning.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank your brother Uzor Kalu for what you have done in Abia State. Thinking that the people that he left, his legacy, follow his footsteps, Abia State will be much better. For your brother to do well in Abia State, believe that you as well will do well, because it's same blood.
Okay, all right. Quickly.
What I'm asking is that which structure are you going to give Abia State as a whole? Will your party bring out the best for Abia State? Because I know that it's a new party.
Okay.
You need people that are strong, that is going to support you, not people that are going to be at your back, maybe to collect for their own selfish interest. That's my take this morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think in addition to that, probably the issue of Senator Uzor Kalu, will it be a factor for your candidacy in 2023 election?
Well, my brother is a member of APC. I'm a member of APP. He has his cross to carry to run for the Senate. I will have my cross to carry to run for governor. And I think the best thing to do is to focus on the message that we all have and let the people make the decisions themselves. On the issue of, somebody said, well, we're a small party. Party is about human beings. There's no such thing as small parties and big parties. Just like there's no such thing as small football team and big football teams. We've seen underrated for small parties beat the Chelseas and the Man U's and beat them 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. So there's no such thing that says that we're a small party and for that reason that we cannot win the governorship of this state. Let me make it very clear. I am in this race to win. I will set the pace of this election. I will be ahead and the rest will follow and try to do catch up. It's not about being a small party. It's about having the message and things to offer to the people. And I believe that I'll have the message, I'll have the movement to offer to the people. And there is no section of this state as chief of staff that I did not touch. I provided employment, I provided services. I have testimonies of things I did in the 3 years I was here in Umuahia. And that will, at least, if nothing, show my capacity to do things. And so if I make a promise, it is always my goal to keep to it. And on this movement, small party will prove a point that small party can also be a big party.
Okay, the former chief of staff to Abia State government and now the Action People's Party governorship candidate in Abia State, Honorable Mascot Uzor Kalu. Thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you.
All right. And to all of you who called in, who sent in your SMS, thank you so much. May God bless you. Platform returns on Monday at 10 a.m. My name is Ginika Olwa. Please do stay out of trouble. Let's do this show again. Good morning.